there is actually some construction currently happening. These to me look like roller coaster footers. Hello everybody, today you join me on a very sunny day here in Zadra, Poland, and I'm at Energylandia for the first time since 2024. The last time I was here at the park it was the winter event, so the likes of Abyssus and the water rides were actually closed. So I'm really excited to get on them. I'm also very excited to get on the likes of Hyperion and my #1 coaster, Zadra. The park is open until around 6 p.m. tonight, and it is around 11 right now, and I am absolutely dying for a wee. I've been on the train for about an hour, so I think it's only right if we head inside. I am of course allowed to film on-ride POVs, so I can't wait to share them with you guys. So I think there's only one thing left to do, and that's to get on some rides. So I think the first thing that I'm going to do is head towards the back of the park where Zadra is located, and that's because a lot of people tend to go to Hyperion, which is located at the front of the park, so I'm hoping that the queues aren't too long on Zadra. As you can see now, we are making our way to the tunnel that actually goes underneath a road, which just goes to show you how big Energylandia actually is. Zadra currently has a 10-minute queue, so now I've got to prepare myself for that incredibly long walk through the queue.
Drodzy goście, informujemy, że
Wow, what an absolutely fantastic way to start the day. A front row ride on Zadra, the unbelievable RMC coaster. I think it probably is my joint #1 coaster with Voltron. It depends what day it is. If Voltron's got a smooth train, I would say I prefer that. But then Zadra, when it's really warm, it's absolutely relentless, that thing. So yeah, it's very hard to decide which one that I actually do prefer the most. It did say that it was a 10-minute queue, however, I'd say it was probably about a 45-minute. Obviously, queuing for the front row doesn't help and obviously adds on that additional time, but I think they were running 2 train operations, but they weren't getting them out as fast as possible, which was a little bit disappointing. However, we did eventually get on the ride, and as I mentioned, it's an unbelievable way to start the day. So if you aren't already aware, there is actually some construction currently happening at Energylandia, and it's rumoured to be a potential new coaster, which is very exciting. Originally, we all thought it was going to be that Vekoma tilt coaster that was originally planned for the park, but ended up being Siren's Curse at Cedar Point. However, I did see some pictures yesterday, and somebody said that those could be potentially B&M footers. So, could we be seeing a B&M dive or B&M flying coaster maybe coming to Energylandia? So as you can see, construction has actually begun, and right here are those what we think roller coaster footers. There is some trucks currently on site doing what looks to be some landscaping, and as you can see, it is a massive plot of land. So hopefully whatever it is an absolutely massive coaster. A few people did think this could potentially be an on-site hotel, but these to me look like roller coaster footers. So let me know in the comments what coaster you would like to see here at Energylandia. I'm not too sure if you can see that, but this will give you an idea of what the queues are like today. It says that Hyperion is currently on 0 minutes, Mayan 0, Zadra 10, Formula 20. Then also over here, again, I'm not too sure if you can see that, but Abyssus is on 10 minutes. Because it said it was a 10-minute queue, I think I'm going to head over now to the Aqualantis section, which, as I mentioned, I haven't actually experienced yet, and judging by first impressions, it does look really, really nice around here. Abyssus looks like a fantastic coaster, so I'm really excited to get on that. I'm not 100% sure about this one having a front row queue, so hopefully we'll do our best to get a front row POV. If not, we'll see what we get given. The theming does look really, really nice around here, especially on Abyssus. You've obviously got all those water features and just little things like the rock work effects and stuff like that. Yeah, really, really nice. Let's now make our way onto Abyssus and hopefully we can get a front row ride. Into the second launch. Woo! Oh! Woo! Oh! Whoa! Time. Whoa, that's forceful. Oh. Nice.
Super! Jest, ale fajnie na pierwszym.
Second ride of the day was Abyssus, the Vekoma multi-launch coaster, and that was absolutely fantastic. The first half is a little bit more tame, the first launch especially. It's sort of just a more of a gradual launch, and then there's sort of the twists and turns and stuff like that, and then you go into that second launch and it's absolutely fantastic, and you sort of go into that sort of top hat type element, and it's really good. You've got some really good moments of airtime in there as well. It's a really enjoyable coaster overall. It was actually around about a 10-15 minute queue, so they weren't lying when it came to that. So yeah, I think I am actually going to go on again at some point, as I would like to try out the back row at some point in the day. So maybe that's going to be towards the end of the day when I get round to the re-rides. We're now going to make our way back over to the front half of the park, and if Hyperion still has a 0 minute queue like it says, I think it's going to be only right if we do go and have a ride on Hyperion. I didn't actually realise it, but it's already 1:30 in the afternoon and I've only managed to do Zadra and Abyssus, and I haven't even eaten yet, so I'm going to hold off for a little bit, but whilst people are hopefully still eating, I'm going to take advantage of that and, like I say, yeah, try and get on as many rides as possible. And a sign that we are near the front of the park again is that monster over there, Hyperion. as you can see there, 0-minute queue. Let's take you on board.
Spadaj, okej, nie moja wina, że mam takie włosy, nie tak chamsko zimno.
I've just had a front row ride on Hyperion and that was absolutely fantastic. Obviously it did say it was a 0-minute queue and I didn't actually wait much longer than that. If you aren't aware, the way the queuing system does work at Energylandia, it does break down into the front row and then into sort of like either single rider or into the other rows. And thankfully, there was a 3 in front of me, much further on in the queue, and they needed a single rider, so thankfully I was that person. So I did manage to skip quite a lot of the queue, and yeah, thankfully I got on within, I'd say, 5 minutes, and it was a fantastic ride. A few people do seem to say that Hyperion is a little bit rough, but I'd completely disagree. I think it's one of the smoothest sort of hypercoasters that I've been on, and for the size that it is and the intensity as well, I don't think that you can get much better, to be honest. And some of the airtime on that is absolutely insane, and of course that first drop is just unbelievable. It's been a fantastic day so far here at Energylandia. The sun is out, I believe it is around 17 degrees at the moment. And I'm now going to make my way over to Formula, the Vekoma launch coaster, which I think is quite a bit underrated, to be honest. Not too many people seem to talk about it, but I remember I really did enjoy it the last time that I was here. I think I did read that it was a 10-minute queue, so I'm going to take you on board. This one doesn't have a front row queue, sort of similar to Abyssus, so I'm going to try my best to see if I can get a front row POV for you guys. So yeah, let's take you on board.
Proszę, odepnij teraz pas.
I absolutely love that ride. Formula is a fantastic Vekoma launch roller coaster. It's not the longest of rides, but it definitely packs a punch. That first launch is really punchy, and then you've got some good little pops of airtime in there as well, and some really nice inversions. It's really, really smooth, and it definitely was the ride that sort of put Energylandia on the map for people, and then it also did put Vekoma on the map again. Obviously, some of their previous rides were a little bit more rough, so yeah, this new gen model of coaster really helped change the public's perception of them. However, speaking of old rough Vekomas, they also have a Vekoma SLC here, Mayan. Now, this one does have the collar restraints, I think, rather than the over-the-shoulder restraints, so rides like Infusion at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, which are known to be very, very rough, they have the over-the-shoulder restraints, whereas, like I say, Mayan does have the sort of collar vests. So in reality that should mean that it isn't as rough. However, from my last experience at Energylandia, I did remember it to be quite rough. So we are going to head over there. I believe it said it was a 0-minute wait, so I think it's just going to be one of those one and done rides, but I'm going to take you on board nevertheless. So we're heading on to Mayan now, 0-minute queue. Let's head on board. Oh God. Wow, Mayan is definitely an experience. I will say I don't think it's as rough as Infusion, and those new restraints definitely do help. But there is still sort of that shuffle, and I just think it's got a little bit of jankiness to the ride. I think it's just those old Vekomas, to be fair, but it's extremely forceful. I will say, I actually think it's probably one of the most forceful coasters here, which is saying something. But it wasn't as bad as what I was thinking, so I am quite glad that I have done it. After doing all of the main attractions here, I'm now going to make my way onto some of the more family attractions. So I'm coming over to RMF Dragon, which is a Vekoma suspended family coaster. It's one of the many Vekomas here, but from what I remember, it was a really smooth and quite forceful family coaster. So I'm actually quite looking forward to getting back on it. So again, I'm going to take you on board. My last ride there was on RMF Dragon, and that was the first ride of the day where I wasn't sat on the front row. I just thought it wasn't really worth the hassle, to be honest. It's a family coaster, it's not the end of the world. I think the POV probably still turned out pretty good. It's now 3:30 and I've still not eaten, so I think it's only right if I go and get some food, because otherwise I'm probably going to pass out on something like Zadra. So yeah, I'm going to head into the area near Zadra, and I believe they have some really nice fried chicken there and also some pizza as well. So I think it's going to have to be one of those two. I'm now heading back over into the Aqualantis section, and I'm going to follow on with that family coaster theme, and I think it's called Light Explorers, which is one of the Vekoma family boomerangs here. It's actually one of two. I'm not 100% sure why they went for two, but they are really cool family rides nonetheless. I did one similar called Reich at Phantasialand, and I really did enjoy that, so I'm going to give it a go. To end the day, I've just been on the likes of Abyssus and Zadra. I managed to get a bunch of re-rides in. I tell you what, I absolutely adore Zadra. That coaster, once it warms up, especially on the back row, is absolutely unbelievable. It sort of blows my mind how good it actually is. I don't know what it is about RMCs, but they're so smooth, considering how intense they are as well. And yeah, just that first drop on the back row, you get so much airtime. It is unbelievable. And then, like I say, just some of the whip on some of those transitions is crazy. Absolutely love it. And I really did enjoy Abyssus as well. Yeah, I think that genuinely surprised me as to how good it actually is. I will say, I think it's probably top 3 at Energylandia. I don't think many people could argue with that. Sort of between Formula and Abyssus, but I think Abyssus is basically an upgrade on what Formula already is. So yeah, I don't think many people can argue with that. To end the day, it is quite warm still, so I think it is only right if we do one of the water rides. Speed, the water coaster, does appeal to me a little bit, mainly because of the height of it. Sort of is water coaster at the end of the day, so it should be quite fun, but then also because of the fact you don't get that wet on water coasters. So yeah, it should be really fun, and again, I'm going to take you on board. Final ride to end a fantastic day here at Energylandia. Speed, the water coaster. Hopefully I don't get too wet, because I could do without a soaking wet train journey home. I'll be honest, this isn't the smoothest part, but thankfully, not too wet in the grand scheme of things. I'll take that. So that concludes my day here at Energylandia, and I've had an absolutely fantastic time. And if you haven't already been, you need to go. Some of the coasters there are unbelievable, and I think Hyperion and Zadra are not only some of the best in Europe, but also some of the best in the entire world. Some of the theme in there also really surprised me as well. The Aqualantis section of the park. Like I say, I hadn't actually seen that before, so it was all very, very new to me, and it really did impress me. And of course, Abyssus itself was an amazing coaster. I did manage to get a few more re-rides in after I got off speed, and I was pushing it a little bit. I got on Hyperion just after 6 o'clock when the park closed, and my train is at 6:36. So I did have a little bit of a walk to the train station. So like I say, I was pushing it a little bit, but I do think that I am going to make it on time. So thanks for watching. Be sure to drop a like. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. I will be visiting Liseberg in the next few days, so make sure to keep an eye out for a vlog there. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.